Hi, I'm Josh Royko with myhobokenhome.com and Elite Realtors of New Jersey. Welcome to the Hoboken February 2018 condo sales market recap. Before we dive in and talk about how the market's doing, want to review a couple of quick enhancements and the basic functionality of the dashboard. One of the pieces of feedback that I got was, hey Josh, what do the colors of the dots mean? So I've added a legend. You can see very clearly here that it's by bedrooms. If you want to look at studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and so on and so forth, you can now select that from the legend or just discern what you're looking at when you're glancing at the map. The other enhancement that's significant that we've made is we've optimized the dashboard for mobile devices. So if you're on your smartphone and on our market analytics section of myhobokenhome.com, if you're accessing it from a smartphone, you will get an enhanced version that I recommend you tilt 90 degrees and go in landscape mode, and it'll be much easier to use than the typical pinch to zoom approach that you have to take with prior versions of this dashboard. Okay, with that said, just want to highlight a couple of cool things that you can do with this dashboard that not a lot of dashboards relating to Hoboken real estate would allow you to do. Hyper-local geographic analysis, really cool. If I want to lasso uptown and see how the uptown market is going, I can lasso it and you can see all of the charts update and you can see the properties here that have sold update. And it looks like I accidentally clicked on a month, but we'll go ahead and undo that. And we can click off of it. And now we're back to where we started. So here at right, recent sales, you can see February 28th of 2018 is the most recent one. This is up to date for all sales reported through February 2018. All right, so let's dive into how the market is doing overall. I like to look at price per square foot in general. Right now we're looking at price, and this is a typical narrative that you'll hear from other agents. Look at this strong increase in pricing in Hoboken from 2011 onward. And very true, pricing has increased. But the mix of property selling determines price as well. And so this increase in price doesn't necessarily mean appreciation, although Hoboken over the past several years has very much appreciated significantly. So let's take a look at how the market is doing on a typical property. So we're going to choose the median property. And the median property just means the middle property, right? So it's your typical property, not the highest end features, not the lowest end features in terms of price. And you can see price continues to climb, exception being February, significant drop off, but 1 month doesn't make a trend. That's why we have 3-month and 6-month rolling averages here. But the best way of looking at it, if you really want to know how the market's doing, isn't by price, right? Because that can be skewed based off of the size of buildings that sold, or size of condos, I should say, that sold. So the best way to determine how the market's really doing is looking at the price per square foot of the median property. And this paints a very different story over the past 9, 10, 11 months. And what you'll see is the significant price well, not necessarily appreciation, but price increase from 2012 to 2017. And then here around April, we hit a peak. You can see this peak right here. You have a flattening and a slightly negative slope that's become slightly more pronounced over the past several months. So we are seeing some signs of a potential pullback. Nothing too drastic, a couple of percent or so on a price per square foot basis. If we go ahead and look at February specifically, median price per square foot, $681. That is below the 3 and 6 month rolling averages that are right around $700. So, studios, looks like the average asking price is $516K, discounted about 5-6% to $492,500 for a average sold price. Price per square foot of $754. 1 bedrooms, looks like a small discount, 1%. Average asking around $478. Sell price around $472, $473. going for $642 per foot in February. And then we have 2 bedrooms, $733 a foot, going for $890K. Average size was 1188 square feet. Slight discounting going on, a little more than 1%. 3 bedrooms, 1.4 asking, 1.429, selling pretty close to that, about a 1.8% discount at 1.398 million, 805 a foot. 4 bedrooms going lower on a price per square foot basis, obviously higher in terms of a price point, 1.849 asking, 1.7 actual sold, $628 per foot in February. Okay, so with that said, we're going to go ahead and try to further isolate some factors that can skew the market to see what it looks like. So the real factor that we're going to look at here that can impact overall numbers is the mix of premium doorman buildings sold. So when we have a higher percentage of premium doorman building condos that sell, typically the numbers are skewed to make the market look a little bit better. When it's lower, then typically it makes the market look a little bit lower because these buildings have a wide range of amenities. They typically are in prime locations. You have buildings like Maxwell Place, Hudson T, 1400 Hudson, 1500 Garden, the Toll Brothers properties there. And then you have the W downtown, 225 River, which we can see a 3-bedroom, 6-bath sold for 2.97 on the 28th of February at $1,255 a foot. So that is different than your typical Hoboken condo. And when those types of transactions occur, that can really move the needle, especially when you have several occurring in 1 month, or when you have a very small number occurring in 1 month, that can skew it to make it look like the market is doing worse than it really is. So let's isolate it. First, we're going to look at excluding premium doorman buildings. All right, so this would exclude all the Toll Brothers properties and the W, and look at how the typical non-premium doorman building is doing. Similar trend, not a lot of difference to see here. The market is about flat from April on, with a slightly negative slope here in our rolling averages. February was particularly worse than previous months, but 1 month does not make a trend. So you don't want to read too much into any 1 month's results. It's more the trend over time that tells us where the market is and potentially heading. One other factor that could be signaling that the market is shifting from an incredibly strong seller's market to a more balanced state is inventory, right? Supply is up 51% over this time last year. 136 condos right now are active in Hoboken versus 90 last year at this time. So significant increase in supply. In terms of Dabos, only 46 sold 46 in February. So the market is not absorbing the inventory as fast as it has in previous months or years. So just an initial leading indicator that there might be a little bit of a shift in the market dynamic. Don't get me wrong, the market is still very strong in Hoboken. Attractively priced properties or appropriately priced properties, particularly when they have the features that buyers are looking for, that have been updated. They are selling very quickly and close to full asking, and in many cases with multiple offers going over asking. So that caveat stated, let's jump into the premium doorman building market. So now we're only going to be looking at premium doorman buildings, and you can see this map updated, right? So you can see the buildings. Here's 2 Constitution Core. Here's your Maxwell Lane stuff, 225 River. And now we're talking about just that market. You can see the price per square foot really jumped up. So we had a month here in January where, $1,000, $980 a foot for the median price per square foot. It dropped in February to $911, still significantly higher than other types of properties. So the ability to really exclude or include premium doorman buildings and look at them specifically as a category on their own helps us avoid some of the skewing that's due to the mix of properties sold. So, all right, with that said, let's jump into an analysis of just the 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedroom market. Condos that are studios and 4 or 5 bedrooms don't have enough volume to warrant going through on this review, but I would be happy to address them as requested. So let's start with 1 bedrooms. So, gotta hit apply here. All right, 1 bedrooms on a price per square foot basis, very similar story. It's been flat, declining here. You can see over the past 8 months or so. Not a huge decline, couple of percent, but it's noteworthy as it's breaking the previous trend of significant growth in price per square foot. So if we look at excluding premium doorman buildings, pretty similar story, strong growth, and then a flattening over the past 8, 10, 12 months, and potentially a little bit of a decrease here. So only premium doorman building 1 bedrooms. Again, it has been flat, not quite as much of a downtrend, but it's been flatter a little bit longer. You can see, going back to September of 2016, this is maybe slightly higher, but it's been pretty flat for the past, past 18 months or so. All right, let's go back to all. Take a look at the 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms, very similar story. You can start to see the price per square foot, median price per square foot, have a little bit more of a negative slope. This is a little bit more pronounced than the 1 bedrooms. Not a huge pullback, could be just indicative of a slower winter market, but noteworthy as it breaks previous year's trends, maybe an indication of things to come. All right, looking at the exclusion of premium doorman buildings. Not much to tell here. Very similar to the overall trend. Noteworthy is February, median price of $652 per foot. That is significantly below the rolling averages, right? So when we're below the rolling averages, that means it kind of underperformed how the market's been. When it's above, that means it overperformed how the market's been in recent months. So this one is significantly below that in February. Again, short month. 1 month does not make a trend, but noteworthy. All right, including. So this means just our premium doorman buildings. This is showing still kind of continued appreciation with the exception. I shouldn't say appreciation, but price per square foot growth. But it's been pretty flat for a while. It's got a less positive slope, or a smaller magnitude of a positive slope, but not really the same signs of decrease with the exception of February. But this is still just very, very flat over the past 18 months or so for the premium doorman buildings. All right, let's go to 3 bedrooms and wrap it up here. All right, so 3 bedrooms, similar story over the past year or so. Pretty flat. Not much of a decline, not much of an increase. February was a little bit of a drop off, but nothing too significant, being just 1 month. For excluding, same story. Nothing much to tell from excluding it, and including then would likely be the same story as well. In fact, not a lot of 3 bedroom volume for the premium doorman buildings. Seems to be doing pretty well, but this is very, very low volume, so not enough to tell. That's it for the February Hoboken market recap. Thank you so much for watching. If we can help you find the perfect place or sell your listing for top dollar, we offer a premium level of service, unbeatable commission rates, and a 50% rebate of our buyer's commission. That averages $10,000 in savings to you. Thank you so much. Bye.